Emotions are running high and the drama is about to reach its boiling point. The drama, the conflict starts now. It's paternity test drama with absolutely no limits. Hi, welcome to the show. This is Jane Eyre. Everyone, welcome Jane. Now, 4 months ago, everything was going perfect. Jane was married to the love of her life, Mr. Rochester, and had just given birth to a newborn son. Aww. But right after giving birth, she received a visit from her cousin, St. John. John claims the child is his, and was conceived when Jane came for a visit to him and his sisters Diana and Mary a little over a year ago. Now, Jane denies the claims, but her husband, Mr. Rochester, demands proof. So you're saying Mr. Rochester is judging you based on your social class?
Indeed. Oh, I love him in the marrow of my very bones, but I cannot continue to live with him and raise a child if he is unwilling to accept my fidelity as of the same class as his own.
Well, let's see what Mr. Rochester has to say.
I love Jane more than any being I've ever met from this earth, but I cannot but doubt her claims that her newborn son is mine. He is a beautiful, handsome boy. None of those traits could have descended from my hideous complexion. Before Jane returned to me, she described a handsome, intelligent cousin whom she spent a year with. I cannot help but wonder how their relationship developed, and I fear became superior to our own. Oh Jane, please know that I love you as the most loving, devoted, and caring individual on God's green earth. But I cannot dismiss the effects of growing up in a lower class institution like Lowood had on your sense of loyalty. Yes, you became well-mannered and educated there, but I don't mean to flatter you. If you are cast in a different mold to the majority, it is no merit of yours. Nature did it.
Everyone, please welcome Mr. Rochester.
My love, please forgive me, but I must know the truth.
Okay, I've given you what you want and much more. What do I get in return? A question of fidelity? Do you think because I am poor, obscure, plain, and little, I am soulless and heartless? You think wrong. I have as much soul as you, and as much heart.
Mr. Rochester, do you sincerely believe that Jane, who you even admit loves you with the same intensity that you do her, would cheat on you just because of social inferiority?
Like this. She left me once because she felt betrayed by my disloyalty. During that period, she nonetheless had harsh feelings toward her terrible circumstances and an embodied hate toward me for being the primary catalyst of them. She spent a year with another man, and I have no evidence other than her word that she never had sexual relationships with him. The great majority of me being wants to believe Jane had remained faithful, but as long as one grain of salt in the fiber of my body remains suspecting, I cannot help but seek validation of her loyalty.
Okay. Did you not want my return? Did you not still love me as strongly the day I returned as the day I left you? And I can truthfully say I did not, and that is because I only loved you more and more every day of our separation.
Aww. Listen, crowd. Every second that separated us, I begged the Lord and all He created to bring my angel back to me. Yes, for her restoration I longed, far more than for that of my lost sight. How can it be that Jane is with me and says she loves me? Will she not depart as suddenly as she came? Tomorrow, I feel I shall find her no more.
So Jane, if Mr. Rochester is the father, will you take him back?
Although my heart will still be scarred, I will, because life is too short to be nursing animosity and registering wrongs.
Well, the results are in. In the case of 6-month-old Blake Rochester, Mr. Rochester, you will find out right after the break.
All rise for Judge Red Rain.
Please be seated. Not you, miss. Yes, I believe we have another divorce dispute. Mr. Rochester, please go first.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now I'm filing for divorce from this hideous monster. Now have a good look. Yes, those are rags she's wearing, and I believe she just urinated on the court floors before you entered.
Ugh. Well, nevertheless, you've chosen to be with this woman in sickness and in health, including mental sickness. Agreed, sir?
Only loosely, Your Honor. You see, I was under the impression from her family that she was in a healthy state of mind when I married her, but I've had more sophisticated conversations with my dog Pilot than I've had with this ape.
Well, I understand you've obtained quite a fortune from your marriage. Have you used none of it to seek mental treatment for your wife?
There's no help to be had. Every doctor that I have paid to see her has been bitten or strangled before able to make a viable diagnosis.
I see. Now, where have you kept her?
Well, I'm a very honorable man, and I can't be allowed to be seen with her in front of my guests.
Speak up. I said, where have you kept her?
Locked up in the attic of my mansion.
In the attic? No wonder she's gone mad. You've kept her locked up as if she was your prisoner.
If I may say something, Your Honor.
And you are?
Jane, my governess and fiancée.
You have no legal fiancé unless I grant it to you. But nonetheless, proceed, Miss Jane.
My love has only kept her locked up in his attic for the protection of his guests. I have witnessed the destruction she can cause when unadvised. One night, near midnight, she forced herself from her confinement and lit Mr. Rochester's sheets ablaze.
She speaks the truth.
So she is a threat to the safety of both you and your guests, Mr. Rochester? I'll be the judge of that myself. Does the defendant have anything to say? Well, I've made my decision. Mr. Rochester, you will remain legally bound to Bertha until you can find proper treatment and facility for her care. Case dismissed.
I'm leaving you.
No, Jane.
I must.
Divorce Court, where real couples deal with real life.
Welcome back. Earlier, we took a look at the dynamics of Mr. Rochester's and Jane's relationship, and we'll have the results of the paternity test later. But now, we'll discuss what caused this whole dispute in the first place. Jane's cousin, St. John. So Jane, why would your cousin make these claims if they're not true?
St. John may claim to be a man of God, but his schemes know no bounds in his desire to have my hand in marriage. His deceit is all an attempt for him to split me and my love apart and force me to be his missionary wife in India.
Everyone, welcome St. John.
Hey, quiet all of you! You're all gonna go to hell for this!
St. John, please have a seat. Now, St. John, please tell us your side of the story.
With pleasure. My cousin came back to Marchand about a year ago to visit my sisters and I. And I love her as God loves, I love her as family, and I love her as God loves his children. But I just couldn't forgive her for her betrayal of the Lord when she left me to marry that cripple. However, when we met again, she begged for my forgiveness. She wanted me to take her back and become an agent of the Lord. I was surprised and delighted to hear so, but I could not let her feminine frivolity change her mind again. So I broke her throne, if you will. I conceived a child within her, my child, so that we can no longer be broken apart and can instead focus our energies in India serving God.
You're a liar. I barely shook your hand whenever we met again.
Jane, listen to me. Once wrench your heart from a man and fix it on your Maker's spiritual kingdom on earth will be your chief delight and endeavor. You will be ready to do at once whatever further that end. You will see what impetus would be given to your efforts and mine by a physical and mental union that gives a character of permanent conformity to the destinies and designs of human beings, and passing over all minor caprices, all trivial difficulties and delicacies of feelings, all scruple about the degree, kind, strength, or tenderness of mere personal inclination. You will hasten to enter into that union at once.
Well, let's see what our lie detector results have to say. Jane, we asked if during your visit with St. John last year if you had any sexual relations with him. You said no. The lie detector determined you're telling the truth.
What? You lie.
We then asked you, Jane, if during your visit if you had any feelings for your cousin, St. John, other than familial ones. The lie detector determined you're telling the truth.
You work for the devil. Stop the deceit, Maury.
Finally, we asked you, Jane, if during your stay away from Mr. Rochester, have you ever had any sexual relations with any other man? The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I knew it.
What?
April Fools, you were telling the truth.
What? No!
We'll be right back with the results of our paternity test right after the break.
Welcome to the season finale of The Bachelor. Tonight, I will pick a final contestant, whom I will propose to. Bertha, although I've once married you and admire you for your beauty, I cannot be with a thing with no grasp of love or any other human emotion. Blanche, as beautiful and rich as you are, you only desire my money. I'm afraid I'm going to have to send you home. I choose you, my dear. You do not love my money, my home, or my position of class. You love me for my being, and for that I will never betray you. Come to me now and make my happiness, and I will make yours.
It's time for Tell It to Maury, where you, our viewers, tell me your point of view. Should couples get married if they've already admitted to cheating? So pick up the phone and call 1-866-69-MAURY and tell me what you think. Plus, you'll receive several exclusive offers when you call. So call 1-866-69-MAURY right now. Welcome back. So the paternity test results are in. Jane, is there anything you'd like to say to Mr. Rochester before the results are read?
I sincerely love you, sir, more than any man I've ever met in my existence. I cherish your personality, your intelligence, your devotion to me, but I do not love you for your money, position, or power. No matter what happens, all my heart is yours, sir. It belongs to you, and with you it would remain. Were fate to exile the rest of me from your presence forever.
Oh, my love, I will love you no matter the price. Every atom of your flesh is as dear to me as my own. In pain and in sickness, it would still be dear.
Well, the results are in. In the case of 6-month-old Blake Rochester, Mr. Rochester, you are the father!
I feel anew, and I can see without these.
Well, there you have it. Keep watching future shows, as we'll be sure to update you on this story. Until next time, America. Cut.
But I cannot doubt her claims that her newborn son, okay. Locked up in the...
Quiet, all of you!
I can't do it.
Oh, yeah, say boo. That's why I'm probably.
Yeah, it was like.
Oh, I didn't know we were saying one.
You said no. The lie detector determined you're telling the truth.
For the betrayal, dang it.
Don't say dingus.